Hey, what's up guys? This is UFO News. I'd like to take a second to talk about this interview that Hillary Clinton gave on the Jimmy Kimmel show. Now, every single time I watch a politician talk about UFOs, it makes me cringe because they never take it seriously. It's always jokes, jokes, jokes. Now, when you're watching a show like Jimmy Kimmel, can you honestly expect a serious discussion about UFOs? No. But if you're going to take the time to bring it up, why not delve just a little bit deeper than what most people normally do? I believe that whether or not you are a fan of Hillary Clinton, she does have a smart campaign team. And I believe that they have started to recognize that the UFO subject has become so popular to Americans, especially considering that most people, in some sense, believe that they're out there or could be out there. They saw this interview as a chance to gain votes. Keep in mind, whatever questions Jimmy is going to ask Hillary while they're on stage have already been worked out in advance. So it's not like he was just throwing her a curveball when he decided to bring this up. Now, we don't know if it was Hillary's idea or Jimmy's idea to bring up these questions. It was probably Jimmy's. I mean, let's be fair there. He has asked quite a few people, two other presidents, Barack and Bill Clinton, about the same subject, and they roughly give the same answers. They're all very politically correct. But I think that the Clintons' campaign people saw this as an opportunity to perhaps give a somewhat more candid answer than people are used to try to get people that may be on the fence politically to lean towards the Clinton camp, because she says, hey, guys, if you vote for me, if I'm president, I'm going to go look for those UFO files, and if they're there, you're going to see them. But I believe she shoots herself in the foot, because towards the end of the interview, she makes one statement in particular that is very telling. If you haven't seen the footage, I'd like you to take a look at it, and then I'll explain exactly why I believe the way I do.
That's right.
When we had your husband, President Clinton, on the show, he said, I asked him about UFOs in Area 51, and if he looked in, because if I was president, that's the first thing I do. I go right into those files and see what was going on.
Right.
And he said that he did do that.
Yes.
And that he didn't find anything.
Well, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, why not?
Right? And you know, there's a new name. It's unexplained aerial phenomenon. Unexplained
aerial phenomenon, really?
Yep, UAP. That's the latest nomenclature.
I like the old one. I like UFO. I don't know why.
Well, I think we can use them interchangeably, but I would like us to go into those files and hopefully make as much of that public as possible. If there's nothing there, let's tell people there's nothing there.
What if there is something there?
Well, if there is something there, unless it's a, threat to national security, unless it's a, threat to national security, unless it's a, threat to national security, I think we ought to share it with the public.
But what if everybody's all hopped up on medical?
So after hearing that statement from Hillary Clinton, what does that make you guys think of? Because the first thing I thought was, the government can make anything a threat to national security. It could be a kitty, a puppy, a little girl in a dress. Somehow they could figure out a way to make it a threat. And that being said, you don't think they could come up with a plausible reason why they think that a UFO sighting could be a threat? And let's take that a step further. What if it's not a sighting? What if it's an encounter? What if it's a retrieval of a craft? Of course they're going to consider it a threat to national security. And then later on, if they're ever ousted and somebody figures something out that they can no longer deny, you know what they can say? Well, we weren't really lying. It was a threat to national security, so we couldn't tell you. It's almost this shield that they hide behind. It's a shield of political correctness. And it's a statement that politicians use so that way they can't be held accountable later when they don't fulfill a promise. As long as they threw that caveat in there, then they have some kind of grounds to argue their way out of it. If she really wanted to further the discussion of UFOs, all she would have had to have done is gone on Jimmy Kimmel and just said plainly and simply, you know what? I believe, I'm gonna look, whatever's there, I am releasing. But she doesn't actually mean that, and that's not what she had ever planned on doing. What this was a clever ploy to gain votes. I think there's a lot of people out there that would love to believe in UFOs and possibly extraterrestrials visiting this planet, but they might not have thought through every angle of this. So on the surface, it sounds really good when somebody like Hillary Clinton promises something like that. But there was that important caveat at the end, and I think people might be so busy being excited about the fact that she's talking about this subject that they forgot to hone in on the most important part of her statement at the end. So I'm not going to get too excited about my chances of any American president disclosing the truth about UFOs. And I want to say again, this is not a knock on Hillary Clinton, and it's actually a pretty smart move by her campaign people. I'm honestly surprised that other campaigns haven't picked this up a little bit more. And perhaps maybe it's because of her more liberal, progressive views. Her voter base is more likely apt to handle this in a positive way. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right about this, guys. Let's not count on American presidents to do this work for us. Let's continue the discussion. Watch YouTube videos, read books, talk to as many people as you can. Let's keep this topic healthy, serious, and moving forward in any way we can. I hope you liked the show. Please subscribe to the channel if you like it. Hit the like button on the video. I want to do this full time, and with your support, I can make it happen. If you have a UFO sighting that you'd like to share, please send it to me or contact me. I'd love to see it. Catch you guys later.